As important as it was for God to stop the wickedness of humanity, He waited for a special man before taking action. Imagine how strong this man must have been to defeat 900,000 demons in one strike. So who is this mysterious man? None other than Methuselah, the eighth from Adam, the son of Enoch, and Noah's grandfather. Methuselah lived longer than anyone else on earth, but he was more than just a record holder. There was something unique about him that remains unknown to many. Who was he? How did he live that made him live longer than anyone else? Moreover, what made him so special for God to delay the destruction of the wicked world until after his passing? Is Methuselah a spirit or angel with super destructive powers? We've got to find out and unravel this mysterious man. Ensure you watch to the end. The period before the Great Flood was full of strange events and people. Many legends lived then, though we don't have detailed records of their deeds. Methuselah was one of these remarkable men. He lived an astonishing 969 years and passed away just before the Great Flood, precisely the same year. It was the same time when the generation of Adam, the first man, ended. He had a unique privilege, the opportunity to learn directly from Adam himself. This first-hand knowledge of everything that happened in the Garden of Eden and the wisdom and guidance he gained from Adam likely contributed to his exceptional life. We all know that God created the heavens and the earth. After finishing his work, he saw that it was good and rested. But then something went wrong. Sin entered the world, and God had to remove Adam and Eve from the garden, changing his original plan for humanity. But that wasn't the only time the devil disrupted God's plan. As humans multiplied on earth, angels sent as watchers to watch over humans mingled with the women, fell in love with them, and had children together. This strange breed of children, known as the Nephilim, were half angel and half human. These children had extraordinary strength and abilities and were called giants because of their appearance and capabilities. But they brought more trouble than anyone could have imagined. They were extremely wicked and evil. Their wickedness made something unprecedented happen. God regretted creating humanity. Before this, even though humans had sinned, God didn't regret making them. But when these hybrid sons grew up, evil became widespread, and God considered ending humanity. See Genesis 6, verses 4 through 7. Verse 7, "So the Lord said, I will wipe the face of the earth, the human race I have created, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I have made them." Verse 8 says, "But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord." It is important to note that it wasn't only Noah who found favor, but also his family, including his father, grandfather, and even his great-grandfather, Methuselah. God saw the corruption of the earth, but recognized something unique in Noah. This distinction likely came from the guidance and righteous living that Noah received from his father and grandfather. His father was Lamech, who was the son of Methuselah, who was the son of Enoch, the seventh person in line from Adam. Genesis 5:24 says, "Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away." Enoch was one of only two men in the Bible who had the privilege of going directly to heaven without dying. Can you see the lineage of righteousness? From Enoch down to Noah, these 4 generations of men were upright before God. Living in such a wicked environment was undoubtedly challenging for Enoch. According to the apocryphal book of Enoch, he received revelations about the impending flood and the final judgment. Enoch shared these revelations with his son Methuselah as a warning to prepare him for what lie ahead and to instruct his children. This may be one reason why Noah stood out and found favor with God. Demons greatly troubled the generations before the Great Flood, primarily due to the fallen angels who interacted with humans and had children with them. Some texts also suggest that after Cain murdered Abel, Adam and Eve were separated for 130 years before reuniting to give birth to Seth. During this period of separation, Adam lived with a woman named Lilith, and their union resulted in the creation of Shadim and Lilin. These beings were demons that contributed to the moral and physical corruption in the world. In the midst of this chaos, God raised a remarkable man called Methuselah. He took it upon himself to stand up for righteousness and confront those fierce and deadly demons. He was determined to see the end of those demons, and he embarked on a mission to destroy them. In some rabbinic texts, it is mentioned that both Methuselah and his grandson Noah made efforts to stop the ongoing wickedness. Methuselah passionately opposed all forms of evil in his pursuit of establishing righteousness on the earth during their era. Methuselah defeated 900,000 demons in one strike. His influence greatly affected the demons that Agrimus, one of the senior demons, pleaded with Methuselah to spare the remaining demons, and he obliged. Those demons hid in the wilderness, mountains, and oceans. But can we say that they are still hiding away? Could they be responsible for the wickedness we see in our world today? Could they be behind the constant defiance of humanity against God's will, which is rampant today? Methuselah didn't defeat them through his power alone. His victory was due to the support he received from God. He was the son of Enoch, a righteous man, so he had God's backing. This support was manifested through the special sword that Methuselah owned. Some refer to this sword as the Sword of Enoch, which leads us to believe that Enoch may have passed it down to him. This sword was powerful, not because of its physical qualities, but because Methuselah engraved the name of God on it. The sword held immense power, capable of defeating any creature on earth, including even the most fearsome of demons like Moloch. The sword had the power to grant extraordinary swordsmanship skills to anyone who held it. Furthermore, a distinct caution was attached to the sword. Anyone who took another person's life unjustly with it would also lose their own life. This powerful sword wasn't a weapon that just anyone could handle. It required special ordination by God for someone to effectively use this extraordinary weapon. Methuselah passed the sword to Noah, then to Abraham, who used it in the Giants' War. Abraham, in turn, passed it to his son Isaac, who passed it to Esau and Jacob. Although the sword likely still exists somewhere, what happened to it after Jacob possessed it is unclear. Methuselah's name holds a profound significance, possibly bestowed upon his father Enoch by divine inspiration from God. Enoch had a deep connection with God, and his closeness is reflected in the name he chose for his son. The name carries a prophetic message, serving as a warning of the impending flood that would come in the future. Various meanings have been attributed to his name, such as death of the sword or when he dies, judgment. And surprisingly, God's judgment visited the people exactly 7 days after the death of this strange man, Methuselah. In Genesis 7 verse 4, 7 days from now, I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. Methuselah's death, occurring 7 days before the flood, is significant. 7 days is the duration of mourning and memorial in Judaism. God chose to wait 7 days after Methuselah's passing before bringing divine judgment upon the perverse world. This delay suggests that Methuselah held a special place in God's plan, and his righteous influence and the knowledge he shared were crucial factors in God's timing for the flood. Methuselah's remarkably long life can be seen as God's way of granting humanity ample time to repent. Some attribute Methuselah's longevity to God's unquestionable patience with mankind, as he watches and desires that everyone would repent and turn from their wickedness. God allowed humanity to thrive for nearly 1,000 years, patiently waiting for them to repent of their wickedness and return to Him, even though they consistently refused to do so. Here comes the end of the remarkable story of the extraordinary man who holds the record for the longest life on earth, and the one who defeated 900,000 demons in a single strike. Make sure to like and subscribe for more biblical mysteries.